Bunzo Bunny, the hollow looking in the dark. The playtime company factory, once of the pride of the city with the toys that brought joy to thousands of children, is now crumbling in dark ruin. After its misery shut down, few dare to trick to this place. However, one name still lingers in the eerie tapes about the factory: Bunzo Bunny. No longer the cute rabbit with the tiny drum seen at birthday parties, Bunzo has become a symbol of unspeakable horror hiding in the factory shadows. The curse in the drums. Bunzo Bunny started as part of the party Paul's toy line, designed to bring fun to children. With its beat of its drum, Bunzo plays joyful tune for cheerful birthday parties. However, something went wrong during its development. An unexplained glitch turned the Bunzo into something more than just a toy. It became aware, or perhaps it was possessed by dark force. During the final test, Bunzo suddenly stopped following its programming. Instead of stopping when the song ended, the rabbit continued to bang the drum, its beat growing louder and more frantic. The engineers panicked, but no one could cut the power. Bunzo Bunny was no longer just a toy, it seemed to be controlled by an unseen force. Then, all the light in the test chamber went out, leaving an ominous silence. When they came back on, no one in the room was alive. The train rumors. After the factory shut down, numerous supernatural stories about playtime company began to circulate. People said that if you stood outside the massive factory doors at night, you could hear faint drumming from deep within the darkness. The curious souls who dared enter the factory never came back. The few who survived spoke of Toy Rabbit, no longer cute, but now a monster, Bunzo Bunny, with its hollow black eyes and sinister smile that never fade from its face. The curious investigators. Emma, a university student specializing in paranormal studies, and her friend decided to investigate the mystery of the Bunzo Bunny. Drawn by the eerie tapes, they planned to sneak into the factory on the mystery moonlit night to capture proof. It's just a broken toy. Emma reassured the group, but even she felt a thrill deep inside. As they stepped through the heavy iron doors of the factory, the atmosphere immediately felt alive. The darkness seemed to cling to them, waving down their every move. The hallways were empty, old, and moldy, as if no one has dared set foot inside for years. Yet, in the oppressive silence, a soft drumming began to echo, faint but steady, coming from somewhere deep in the shadows. A living nightmare. The deeper they ventured into the factory, the cleaner the town became. It wasn't just music, but a rhythmic, menacing beat. Each drum beat felt like a warning, as if something was coming closer. Finally, they reached a large room, their flashlights illuminating a trained figure standing in the middle of the space. Bunzo Bunny stood there, motionless, like a forgotten toy, with its eyes though empty. Black eyes seemed to watch them, even though it hadn't moved. The smile on Bunzo's face stretched wider, almost as if mocking them. Before anyone could react, the drumming began again, but this time it wasn't distant. It came from the tiny drum strapped in Bunzo's chest. The sound grew louder and louder, more frantic with each beat. as if Bunzo was calling something sinister from the shadows. Emma and her group rose. The room seemed to grope, the drumming drawing their senses, making them feel like they were dropped in the nightmare from which they couldn't wake. Bunzo started to move toward them, slowly but purposefully, its steps synchronized with the deafening beats for each drum. The pounding rhythm hammered at their minds, making it impossible to think. No escape. Panicked, the group bolted for exit. But Bunzo didn't stop. It wasn't just a toy anymore. It had become the brutal, silent, relentless, and deadly. The drumming continued, following them with every step, echoing through the dark halls. One by one, Emma's friends disappeared into the shadows, their screams cut off by the overwhelming silence that followed. Emma, the last one standing, desperately searched for an exit, her heart pounding in her chest. But when she turned around, Bunzo was already there, its hollow eye reflecting the terrors in her flashlight. The drumming reached a final crescendo just before darkness swallowed her whole. Bunzo's return. The next day, the Playtime Company factory stood as it always had, but no trace of Emma's group was found. Only one thing remained, an old birthday hat lying on the dusty floor, and as night fell to wind, the faint sound of drumming started once more, soft but steady, signaling that Bunzo Bunny was still there, waiting for the next soul to brave or foolish enough to enter its domain.